So imagine losing 30% of your position or of your account balance. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with Techwood Solutions, and I'm going to talk about a super oversold stock. A lot of you guys like when I make these videos, and all I ask in return is to drop a thumbs up and, of course, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. I am almost at 1 million subscribers, and to keep it super simple, if you're already subscribed, just comment down below, subbed, and I'm going to be selecting one random person in the comment section and just giving you guys a day trading mouse pad. So again, make sure you drop a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and of course, make sure to comment down below, and I'll be selecting you tomorrow. So let's go ahead and jump right to it. What's this stock that dropped 30% today? PTON reported earnings today. And I want to share with you first. I want you to be able to see what this looks like. PTON was trading right before earnings at $86. One of the main reasons a couple days ago I decided to sell PTON, and I made a video on this, was PTON has been getting rejected by this moving average. It's the light green line you see right here. It sold off quite a bit. It began to establish a support level at around $80 a share. It began to trade above the EMA line. Everything looked good. This was when the market barely began to indicate signs of a recovery. And then we began to get hesitation right around this moving average. I decided to lock in profits. And again, it's the concept of if it does break above the moving average and continues to uptrend, I can always get back in. Until then, I don't want to ride the stock back down. I anticipated PTON to drop back down to $80 a share. I didn't expect it to just absolutely tank. Look at that, 30% drop after market hours. It went from $86 down to $60. So I want to put this into perspective. If PTON were to find a support at $60 a share, and if it were to recover just to $80 a share, that's a 36% return. And if it were to recover to the moving average, which was where it was trading at before, that would be a 50% return. Think about that. A 50% return on a stock that just dropped 30%. Now, one of the things that you need to know is that PTON does not need to recover anytime soon. PTON sold off very aggressively during the aftermarket hours. So when it reported earnings, it saw a drop and it continued to sell off throughout the remainder of the aftermarket trading session. With that being said, it can still continue to sell off. A very big and common misconception that people have is like, well, this stock is cheap. But always know that it can always get cheaper. So what I'm here to share with you is I like sharing and talking about oversold and cheap stocks. I don't think anyone can say that, well, PTON based off of current value and previous value is a cheap stock, but it doesn't mean that it's a good buy right now because it's not indicating signs of an uptrend. It's simply aggressively sold off. So this is where it makes the most sense to set effective alerts if it begins to recover, and of course, add it to your watch list if and only if you actually see value in it. So it's as simple as adding it to your watch list, setting an alert if it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, and then doing your job in holding yourself accountable and staying disciplined and following up with it when your alert gets triggered, right? But like we know, cheap doesn't mean that it can't get cheaper. So I'm actually going to set my alert for the break below $58 because if PTON continues to sell off, I want to make sure that I'm aware of that. I want to share this video with you guys because I love talking about cheap stocks, but let's also understand that it doesn't have to recover right away. Now, the question that you might have is not just on the technical aspect, but why is it? What was said during this earnings report that caused the stock to drop? Well, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, know PTON, which is Peloton, did extremely well during pandemic conditions. It peaked at the end of COVID, right? So as we begin to transition, you guys could see this, the date's right on over here. From early 2021, we peaked at 171, and it's been selling off ever since. As we resume business as usual, and as gyms begin to open back up, Peloton is very popular for its at-home workout machines. And you can see why demand levels would skyrocket during when gyms are closed, pandemic conditions, versus now when gyms are opening back up. With that being said, they took an additional step and reduced their prices, I think about $400 to what they were at before, but still demand levels are just not there, as well as they had logistic issues when it comes down to shipping, right? There's a huge back order of how many shipping containers and that whole, just overall logistic issue that any huge manufacturer that especially manufactures overseas. That's why Peloton announced that they were in the works of potentially looking for a facility in the United States. But again, obviously not something that they have established. So with that being said, they still have those logistic issues. They don't see demand levels to increase anytime soon. And again, gyms opening back up, demand levels are not going to get back to where they were during pandemic conditions. All three negative takeaways. So I love talking about positive outcomes, right? I want Peloton to recover. I want to be able to, ride back the reversal, be able to buy the dip and ride back the recovery. But we need to be aware of what was said. So I wanted to make sure that I did my job and not just talking about the recovery potential, but also talk about what caused this to sell off so you understand why and how it doesn't have to recover, or this issue does not have to be solved anytime soon. This is an ongoing issue, and this is why we experienced such a sudden drop, and it should encourage you to be selective. You shouldn't be scared, but you should be selective, right? Watch your position size, be selective if you decide to enter, and of course, if you see value in it, don't be afraid to add it to your watch list. But it's that simple. I wanted to share with you a stock that it has been very popular. It dropped 30%, and I thought I can do a decent job talking about it with you guys, that it's cheap, it can definitely get cheaper, and how I plan to trade it. And I'm simply waiting for indication of an uptrend, right? I want there to be a reason behind why I purchase PTOI, not just because it's cheap, because there's a lot of cheap stocks out there, but it's knowing when to buy, because it can always get cheaper. Allow that opportunity to present itself and allow that direction to be in your favor. So that's what I have to say about Peloton stock. So again, I hope that you learned something new. If you guys did, please consider dropping a thumbs up. And of course, do not forget to subscribe. And if you want a chance to win a mouse pad, just make sure you comment down below subscribed. And again, I'll be selecting a random subscriber tomorrow by the time I upload my next video. I really do appreciate you guys' time. I'll see you tomorrow at Market Open for our live trading session. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.